The big debate, the presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is, of course, tomorrow. We'll be live streaming that. Do join us. And that means that we have this weird thing that especially MAGA media does, which is their pre-takes. Everyone has their pre-debate takes, right? I think this is going to happen. I hope this is going to happen. Fine. I've been doing that a lot too. But MAGA does this thing where when they get worried Trump's going to do poorly, they have to start pushing conspiracy theories that will then support Trump afterwards, if it does indeed go poorly. Now, you'll remember, and then I'll play this Alex Jones example of what I'm talking about here. You'll remember that before the Biden-Trump debate, they clearly didn't need to be based on how it went, but they were concerned in that case that they needed conspiracy theories. So they were pushing the Biden's going to be drugged. So it's going to seem like he's going to do well, but it's because of drugs. That was a completely unnecessary conspiracy for them to push based on how the debate went, of course. But now they have better reason to believe that Kamala Harris could outperform Donald Trump. And so in preparation for that, they're just recycling the same thing they used before. Don't think she actually did well. It must have been because of drugs. Here's Alex Jones. And everything he says, I'll try to address afterwards. So if you get annoyed, just hold on, because I'll address it. And while you're watching this, please make sure you click the subscribe button if you haven't already. It makes all the difference. The majority of the people who watch the videos daily, though, aren't subscribed. Thank you so much. Here it is.
In that she's going to fall flat on her face without a teleprompter. Remember her on CNN a week and a half ago? She was like squatting down. The people were like way above her, and she's like hiding. Let Tim answer that question. I can't really talk. And it's because she's got serious performance anxiety. You can see that. So she's going to be on drugs. She's going to be bombed out of her gourd. That's the question. Is she come out all hopped out on some weird ecstasy? Or she might be on a hit of ecstasy. I've seen her on TV. She looked like that at the DNC. Big old pupils, feeling good. Yeah, they're going to give her a Molly. I'm dead serious. That's what they came up with with the psychologists back in the 80s. They invented it before that in the 50s. It's a hallucinogen mixed with amphetamines. And it was for couples that have problems or people that have shyness. It was a big bar drug. She'll be on a hit of ecstasy, pharmaceutical grade. And it's just going to be insane. She's going to come out. She was obviously drunk and on Xanax at the CNN deal. Because you either get drunk and on Xanax, and her face all long and the eyes all blown out, slurring the words. But I don't think you can do that every day. That's for normal go-to. They admit that. So yeah, you're going to get a hit of ecstasy or some other designer thing. They got a bunch of variants of that. You're going to get she'll be on Molly.
So there's a lot there. I don't know how the debate's going to go. I hope Vice President Kamala Harris does well. I hope Trump is seen by the American people to be what he is. But I don't know. But apparently Alex Jones is so worried that Trump's going to be determined to be sort of the loser of the debate that he has to preempt it with, there's going to be all these things they're going to do to make Kamala Harris seem like she's better than she is, including baseless conspiracy theories, as they did before, about the Biden State of the Union with drugs. When in doubt, assert baselessly that your opponent is on drugs. Apparently, that's the MAGA agenda. It was kind of funny to hear him saying, there was some projection there, it felt like. She's drunk. You could do that every day. I mean, people do that all the time, okay? You could be hammered on a daily basis, trust me. But there's going to be something even more than that. And it's her who has performance problems. It's her who is on drugs. And I'm not alleging drug use on the part of Alex Jones. I know he does drink a lot, but all I'd say is if you're this guy, maybe don't be levying the baseless attacks about drugs.
Jones, I think everybody needs a war cry, man. Can you muster a war cry?
It's a big joke.
It's not really, though. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's also inspiring.
My voice will completely go into this, but it's fine. It's my resistance to them. It's a God's transmission. It's a human under attack.
All right, let's go.
Oh, gosh. And then you might remember that in the clip you just watched, he said that Kamala Harris was drunk and that he said on Xanax in the CNN interview and was drooping down in her chair saying, "Can Tim answer the questions?" What interview did you watch, Alex Jones?
That include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed. So that is the reality of it.
And that was her response to sort of a big question MAGA wanted her to be asked about, which is on certain issues where policy shifts have happened, what is her reaction? She's saying, maybe in some areas I've gotten more pragmatic, or I'm wanting to have a specific, more focused approach on a particular area. Maybe I got more information and shifted on fracking, no longer something all the way since 2019 that she's wanted to ban. But that doesn't represent a value difference, just an approach difference informed by the same values. Perfectly fine answer. And that's the interview he's trying to convince you was an example of Kamala Harris just being out of her mind or something. I'd like to see a stone cold sober Trump try to answer questions that clearly. But Trump, about this interview as well, said, and you can show this, Jaden, that Kamala Harris had notes in front of her and was reading from her notes the entire time. You can see that clearly she had no notes in front of her and Trump just made that up in his head. So Alex Jones has to try to convince his audience, don't go watch the interview, but just let me tell you that she seemed completely out of her mind. And Trump has to say it went so well, apparently, that it must have been because she had notes. And that was one CNN interview. Imagine the high-stakes presidential debate. No wonder they're going crazy, because if she performs in the way that I think and hope that she will, they're going to have so many justifications. They're going to have to emotionally support Trump in so many ways. And I can predict now, if it does go well, the drug conspiracies are going to be crazy. Even though if you just go watch, as we did on the show, and as you can do yourself, this interview, other public appearances, you can be a rational adult and say, oh, maybe she's just good at public speaking, which is why she rose in the ranks this effectively throughout her career. Maybe she just knows what she's talking about. Maybe it's your own insecurities about Trump's incoherence lately, about Trump's complete detachment from an intelligent, thoughtful discussion about policy that is causing you to push this nonsense about Vice President Kamala Harris. And again, it's a weird vibe that you're emitting when the debate hasn't even happened and you're having to brace your audience for it not going well on your side. How about you just wait to see how it goes? Still, let's not do the conspiracy theories, but it's especially irrational when it hasn't even happened yet and you're already this scared. And, Alex, your whole, the drunk thing. Let me play this part again.
Either get drunk and on Xanax, and her face all long and the eyes all blown out, slurring the words. But I don't think, you can do that every day. That's for normal go-to. They admit that.
Yeah, that's just normal go-to behavior. Everyone's hammered all the time. Come on. Who among us? And there, it's bad. But there's something so notable about how the Tucker Carlsons of the world, the Alex Joneses of the world, etc., are able to assert something about something that's on video, knowing that 99% of their audience will never just go watch it themselves. Everything you just heard him say there, when you hopefully watched the full CNN interview with Kamala Harris, was any of it true? Even the aesthetic stuff? No. So why do they get away with that? There's some conspiracy theories like, oh, the deep state's going to do this or that. And it's so abstract, and the deep state's necessarily good at covering up stuff, so we're never going to know. So just believe me, I know about it because I'm getting information transmitted by God, as Alex Jones says it is. And that's bad, but you understand how someone, a low information voter, can get misinformed by that. But on stuff that any person, no matter their information level, could go click a CNN YouTube link and watch themselves. And they go, nah, I'm going to believe Alex Jones is telling that apparently she was completely gone. It's so crazy. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. What are you expecting at tomorrow night's debate? Let me know that in the comments, and support the show by clicking the join button below.